You were more than just a stone structure. The stands overflowed. You witnessed the joy and sorrow of millions of people. How many tournaments were played? How many cups found their owners? You witnessed a child's astonishment. Perhaps you witnessed a fan's very last visit. Engineers built you. Fans lived you. You are the witness, the silent witness. Since 1930, you know it all. Estadio Centenario. You were built to be presented as a gift for the centennial of Uruguay's independence. You were built in 2 years. Concrete, iron, and the sweat of hands. 2,000 people worked for you. Most of them, no one even knows their names. 93,000 people present at the same time. Becoming a single voice, you became the voice of the fans. The first World Cup started with you. You hosted people coming from all over the world. You felt the emotions of every single one of them. You felt their footsteps. You welcomed thousands of fans. You were filling up for the first time. The field was shining with its newly drawn lines. When the final day arrived, Uruguay had won. People wept with joy. They shouldered the players. They embraced one another. Today, you carried that crowd. You carried that excitement, that joy. You witnessed the very first football enthusiasm in history. It all took place within you. This was just a beginning. You will witness much more. 93,000 people passed. You did not pass. The 1950 tournament. Brazil was going to become the champion. Everyone knew it. Even with a draw, they were the champions. For this, a construction spanning 2 years took place. 100,000 workers worked. In the heart of Rio, the largest stadium in the world was going to be built, meaning you. Brazil did this as a gift to its own championship, to its own nation. 200,000 fans were going to fill the stadium. There was a group system. The last match was between Brazil and Uruguay. What everyone expected was for Brazil to become the champion. The match began. Brazil took the lead. 200,000 people were filled with joy at the exact same time. You partnered in their voice. You accompanied them. You had guided them like an orchestra conductor. Then Uruguay equalized the situation. Later on, Uruguay took the lead. The final whistle blew. 200,000 people suddenly fell into silence. As if you had given them a command, they fell silent all at once. They just fell silent. This silence was indescribable. The only sound heard was the sound of disappointment, the sound of sadness. It was a silent sound. The tears of some flowed into you. Some told you of their sadness. Some left you slowly. It is said that this silence still echoes. For 73 years, you are the silent witness of all of it. You know, 200,000 people passed. You did not pass. In the heart of London, a white stadium with 2 towers was built. 1,000 workers worked day and night, 300 days. In every stone, there was the hand of a person. Every concrete block was carried by someone. One of those workers was Arthur. He was sitting during the first match. He was looking at you on a single chair, all alone. He was thoughtful. You had remembered him. His hand had hurt while carrying iron. Now, on the first day you opened, he was sitting. The first match was played. Arthur said to the man beside him, "I built this place." The man smiled. "I was one of the workers who built it," Arthur said again. "My hand had hurt while carrying the iron for that stand," he said. The match ended. Years passed. In 1966, the England-West Germany final match was being played. Now Arthur was no longer alive. England won the match. The stands went wild with joy. Everyone shed tears of happiness. Arthur's hands had carried that happiness, without anyone seeing, without anyone knowing, you know. You carried Arthur's hands. Arthur passed. His hands did not pass. You did not pass either. The country organizing the 1978 tournament was Argentina. General Videla had come to power. He was doing this tournament just to pull the wool over the world's eyes, so that the image of the country would improve. But just a few kilometers away from the stadium, there were detention centers. People were disappearing. Some families searched for their loved ones with photographs. The world watched the cup. Everyone's eyes were upon you. You were aware of everything, but you could not speak. Argentina won the final match. 76,000 people celebrated. Within the celebration, there were other voices. A voice that everyone was aware of. A voice they could not put into words. That voice had seeped into your walls. The voice of victory and pain. Videla passed. Families are waiting. You carry them all. 76,000 people passed. Those voices did not pass. You did not pass either. In Mexico City, you were the Estadio Azteca. You had seen victories and sorrows before too. This time, you witnessed a different feeling. The quarterfinal match was played, Argentina-England. In the 51st minute, a hand came into play. A left hand. Fast, agile. It became a goal. Everyone was astonished. You partnered in that emotion too. You saw everything, but you couldn't tell. 5 minutes later, in the 56th minute, 6 players were passed in 11 seconds. The goal of the century was scored. Before the astonishment had even passed, These were experienced. You witnessed it along with 114,000 fans. You experienced that joy mixed with astonishment. From that day on, they knew you as Maradona's stadium. You were engraved in memories this way. You had carried Pele's last World Cup. You carried the Olympic Games. Maradona was one single day. You carried every single day. That day became the day you carried the most. Maradona passed. You did not pass. Your design was inspired by Africa's traditional calabash bowl. You carry the colors of Africa's sun. An entire continent had come together on that day. They came to you, to the historic match. It was Africa's first World Cup. You were the host. The final match was going to be played, the Spain-Netherlands match. Andres Iniesta's goal came in the 116th minute. Spain became the champion. That unique voice of Africa filled the entire stands. It was a very powerful moment, the championship. You did not care about this. That night, you remembered Nelson Mandela who came. He had come onto the field before the match. He was 91 years old, in a wheelchair. The crowd stood up. You carry that standing up. You carry Mandela's very last appearance on the stage. You are still there. Soccer City is still there. That standing up, that voice is still on the walls. Mandela passed. That standing up did not pass. You did not pass either. You were hosting a semi-final match with 62,000 people. The match was in Brazil. Of the host team, the stands were overflowing. You had witnessed such a crowded enthusiasm very rarely. The host team was the biggest favorite. Everyone wore yellow-green jerseys. Every corner of yours was surrounded by these colors. Everyone's expectations were very high. In the 8th minute, Müller scored a goal. The stands were surprised. The enthusiasm still continued. You accompanied this enthusiasm too. Germany scored another goal. The stands grew quiet. Within 10 minutes, 3 more goals were scored. Germany was leading 5-0. 62,000 fans suddenly froze. No one could make any sense of it. It became the heaviest defeat in Brazil's history. The match ended 7-1. The people in the stands were deeply disappointed. Their tears flowed into you. Some threw their jerseys onto the field. Some left you before they could bear it any longer. They couldn't stand it, but you had to stand it. You had to carry 62,000 people. With every goal conceded, you were shaken, not physically. That feeling shook you. In Brazil, they called that night Mineirão, referring to the name given to the Maracanã tragedy. 2 different pains. In both of them, there was you. You carry both of them. 2 great silences. Mineirão did not pass. You did not pass either. For every World Cup that took place, they were rebuilding you. You had to be magnificent. You had to be big. Everyone had to talk about you. There were families who were displaced to build you. There were people who were lost while building you. Billions of dollars were spent. Every single bit of it was for you. In Qatar, for instance, your construction was talked about for days. You had to be of world standards. Perfect ground, perfect stands. They do not know the story behind it. You know, the migrant workers who experienced it. The difficult living conditions, the long working hours. They did not remember these. They only talked about your magnificence. They talked about the team that won the cup. They talked about the arguments that went on for days. You know all of these. You carry them all. You do not consist of just iron and concrete. You have stories inside you. The winners, the losers, the ones who built you. You are the witness to the story of each one of them, both the visible and the invisible ones. Even when the lights go out, those stories remain within you. The hands passed. The stories did not pass. You did not pass either. You are in the middle of the desert. They designed you inspired by Arab culture. You are in a golden color. When illuminated at night, you reflect onto the sky. You were talked about a lot. Thousands of people worked for you. What was experienced on the final night was talked about more than you. Everyone knows that match. The longing for the cup that lasted for years had come to an end. 88,000 people witnessed it. The final match was played between Argentina and France. It went to a penalty shootout. Argentina became the champion. After everything was over, Messi stood on the field. He did not move at all. It was as if the weight upon him had lifted, as if he was saved from the load he carried for years. Everyone around him was in joy. They were embracing one another. He was just standing. He looked at the sky, at a certain place, or perhaps at nowhere at all. That look of a few seconds was watched by billions of people in the world. You carried that look. You carried that load that lasted for years. You were there when Messi lifted the cup, and when he was looking at the sky. That look did not pass. You did not pass either. The match ended. Everyone slowly walked out of you. Some were in joy. Some walked out crying with the sadness of defeat. Fathers took their children on their shoulders. You were now empty. The day had not dawned yet. yet. The cleaners came. They started collecting the things left in the stands. Empty bottles, dropped hats, a child's toy, a small plastic yellow ball. No one had taken it. He took the ball in his hand. He remembered the final match. Then he smiled. He left the ball aside. Perhaps its owner would return. The field is desolate. Short-cut grass. The lines are still visible. The stands are empty. But it's as if the echo of last night still fills the ears. The tears of some, the victory whistles of others. It is all there. You carry them all. On the walls, on the steps, you carry it all. You wait silently until the next match. When that day arrives, voices will rise again. You will be filled again. This is how it works. Since 1930, the people passed. You did not pass.